Do you remember the squat cobbler scene from Better Call Saul? You know, the one where a grown man squats in a pie?
Those dough weaves are so tight.
Well, it was Bob Odenkirk who came up with the name. He figured it needed a beautifully unique name for its beautifully unique premise. Vince Gilligan's hope is that the name will live on forever.
I want nothing more in my life if squat cobbler could wind up in the Oxford English Dictionary.
Bob Odenkirk almost died while filming Better Call Saul. That's not an exaggeration. He had a heart issue akin to a heart attack and collapsed on set.
I was turning blue and not breathing, and
They were actually filming the season 6 scene where Howard has a very bad day, when things turned very real. Luckily, the cast and crew were around him, and on-set health officer Rosa Estrada was able to administer CPR and use an AED, which took 3 shocks to bring his heart back into a rhythm after 18 minutes. But it didn't take long for Bob to be up and ready to go, as he came back with more energy and determination than ever before. Bob Odenkirk originally said no to reprising his role in Better Call Saul. He thought it would be too tough on his family and didn't want to disappoint his kids.
And I just thought, I just can't do it. It's just they're 2 years too young.
His agent called him a few days after Bob turned down the offer, and their conversation was overheard by Odenkirk's son, who asked his dad why he wasn't doing the show.
And he goes, well, you're going to disappoint a lot of people. I said, well, I'm going to disappoint a lot of strangers. And he goes, well, some of them are my friends.
With the support of his family, Odenkirk took the job, and the result was 6 beautiful seasons of television. Remember that scene in Better Call Saul when Nacho hides in a puddle of old oil? Well, that's not actually oil. What they used was a lot less gross and a lot more edible.
You can actually drink it.
It's a food-grade substance that's commonly used as a thickening agent for milkshakes.
Yummers.
It doesn't stain clothes or skin, but does take a while to wash off. They did this scene in 2 takes, with an hour and a half between them for Michael Mando to shower and get back into costume and makeup. But he didn't mind at all. He loved the experience.
Were you thinking, hopefully this is the only time I have to do this?
No, I was just having a blast.
I hope everybody gets to run away from the Salamancas and dip themselves in this stuff.
Did you know the idea for Better Call Saul started as a joke? After filming Bob Odenkirk's first scene with Bryan Cranston, a crew member joked, "Can I get a job on the sequel?" Which everyone found funny, and the joke kept running throughout the creation of Breaking Bad.
Whenever we came up with something that was too silly or just weird to go on to Breaking Bad, we'd say, oh, we'll do that for the Saul Goodman spin-off, and it was a joke.
Yeah.
But it slowly transformed from a joke into a serious idea. Vince asked Bob if he thought there was a show in his character, because Vince thought there was. Bob replied, "If you think there is, I guess," but later admitted that wasn't the truth.
I gotta be honest, I did not think so, not at the time.
Well, Bob, you were wrong, because production for Breaking Bad ended on a Friday and they began working on Better Call Saul that next Monday. Which is better, Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul? Both have incredible moments, great storytelling, impeccable character development, and underrated camera work and directing. It's extremely close, and this may be recency bias, but I think Better Call Saul slightly edges it out. You may call it chicanery, but what can I say? Slippin' Jimmy gets it done. What do you think? Did you know Bob Odenkirk had never seen Breaking Bad before getting cast as Saul? He was almost completely broke when he was offered the job without an audition, because Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould loved his work on Mr. Show, a sketch comedy series. And the very first conversation Bob had with Vince, Bob pitched him what he thought Saul's hairstyle should be.
He said, I really think Saul Goodman should have kind of a mullet, business in the front, party in the back. That's what he wanted.
He laughed and he said, that sounds awesome.
Did you know Saul Goodman was in Roseanne? Well, not exactly, but he did play a small role that was very reminiscent of one of his Better Call Saul scams.
And we both know you're the health inspector.
God, what gave it away? This is my first week. Is it the suit?
Whew, it's getting a little hot in here. Take off my 50.
You just passed inspection, and so did your restaurant.
Hey, Jim, how's the shoe business treating you?
Starting to pick up.
Perhaps this is the timeline where Jimmy doesn't defecate through his sunroof.
Man, this job has its perks.